Are you looking for the thrill of your life? With Zadart, Seattle's only exotic car rental company, you can book a Lamborghini, Ferrari, and more. Visit Zadart.com, ZADART.com to book your exotic car ride.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
Second date updates can be about a lot of things. They can be about a love that somebody feels like they have lost, that walked out of their life. They can be about righting a wrong on a date. Just calling up to say, I'm sorry, that was bad. And sometimes they can just be about getting your money back.
Oh, whoa, we've never had a refund date before.
That's why Evan is on the phone today to do a second date update. Evan wants his money back. What's up, Evan?
Hey, guys. I'm all right, I'm just looking to get my cash back.
Okay, wait, before we go any further, we're not talking about any illegal prostitution deal that went wrong, right?
No prostitution. This is just food. I'm looking to get paid back for some grub I did not know I was spending money on.
And you know how many dates I've been on, Evan, where I spent a bunch of money on dinner? I'm like, man, I wish I could get my money back. So kudos to you for using our radio show to do that.
Yeah, it's the only thing I could think of.
Well, let's start by talking about the girl that you want to call today. What's her name?
Her name is Chrissy.
Chrissy, okay. And how did you meet Chrissy?
I met Chrissy because she's a local at the bar I frequent, kind of like my watering hole,
Okay,
nice.
so you've run into her before, or was that the first time you've met her is when you asked her out?
We've run into each other before.
Okay.
All right, and then how did you ask her out finally?
Well, one day I came to go get a drink after work, and she just sat down next to me. And I'd always thought she was cute. Mm-hmm. And then before you know it, we're grabbing a drink and chatting.
Okay. And where'd you guys go on your date?
We went to this Greek restaurant.
So how did dinner go?
Well, I got to be honest with you guys. We were having a good time until we sat down for dinner. And I should note, she asked to meet me directly at the restaurant instead of picking her up, which was, seems a little more like the typical course of action.
Sure.
And we sit down at dinner, and she orders every appetizer on the menu.
Whoa.
Wait,
And 3 full entrees.
What?
wait, hold on. How many appetizers are on the menu? Is there like 2 or?
Like 6 types of hummus, chickpeas and grilled lamb, and I don't even know.
What? Why? Why did she do that?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, what the hell? So I ended up asking her, you are really hungry. What's with all the food? And she looks at me and says, well, my kids, first mention of ever hearing that she had kids, have never had Greek food.
Oh, so she's ordering to bring food home to her children.
Yeah, she wants it all boxed up so she can bring it home for them.
And did she make you pay for this entire bill?
Yeah, I was expecting her to at least kick in some money, and she handed me the whole check.
So that's awesome. You bought her kids dinner and you didn't even intend to. That's very nice of you.
And the whole thing turned out to be $165.
Wow.
Okay.
At a Greek restaurant? That's
Wait.
a lot.
And I just had a salad. That's all I had.
Did you say anything to her about it? I mean, I would hope if I were in that situation, I'd be like, hey, I'll pay for your dinner, but do you mind paying for your kids' dinner?
No, I didn't. I was so flustered at the time. I just paid it.
Okay, is there any way that she is out of a job, can't afford to feed her children or something?
I don't think so. I don't know why she didn't offer to pay, but it kind of seemed like she was using me and the fact that I like her to get her to pay for dinner.
Girls will do that.
How did the date end with her?
The crazy thing is the date didn't end there. It kept going.
Where did you go next?
She demanded that we get more drinks together at another bar down the street.
Did she take those drinks in to-go cups so she could take those back to the kids too?
I wouldn't be surprised if that did happen.
How long were you hanging out with her after you bought all that food?
Like another hour or 2.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Are you just a man who can't say no?
I was so confused inside, but I liked her, so I didn't know what to do. I got very nervous.
So how did it all end then? Like, what was the moment you guys said goodbye to each other?
Well, we're paying for everything, and she starts talking about how all men are just children who are trying to find their mothers.
What?
I don't even know where this came from.
Okay, wait. So the check comes, and that's what she brings up? I don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, she starts venting about how all men are just children looking for their mothers.
Interesting.
But why would they not know where their mothers are?
I know where my mom is.
All the men in my life know exactly where
You're
their
telling me. Obviously, the lady has issues. I don't know why she was saying that. And then she gets a text from her babysitter.
Okay.
And the babysitter wants her to come home immediately because she's already an hour or two over, and she leaves me with the bill.
So did she just cut like that? Like she just left right away?
Boom, out of there.
Oh,
All right,
dang.
so you don't necessarily
bro.
want a second date. You just want to call her and go, you have to pay for the money that I spent on our date.
Yeah, she stiffed me on 2 f***ing bills.
All right, well, we'll play a song, come back.
92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
As somebody who's gotten a lot of calls from bill collectors in their time, I'm excited to be on the other end of the phone today. So that's pretty much what today's second date update is. We're trying to collect a debt. Evan is on the phone, and in case you missed the first part, he went out on a date with a girl named Chrissy. They went out to a Greek restaurant. When they sat down to order food, she ordered pretty much everything on the menu. And he asked her why, and she said she wanted the extra food to bring home to her kids. 1, she didn't tell him about the kids. 2, she made him pay for all that extra food. And now he wants to call her to tell her that she owes him money.
Yeah.
All right, Evan, are you about ready to make the phone call?
I am.
I forgot to ask Evan, how many kids does she have?
Just 3 kids.
Whoa, that's a big surprise.
She's deep in children.
3 whole children.
What if when we get her on the phone, we can come to some sort of a compromise, like she takes care of the tip? Would you be happy with that?
No, she needs to pay for the whole damn meal.
All right. Well, I'll dial her phone number right now and get her on the phone then. Let's not waste any more time.
Thank you.
Hello?
Hi, is Chrissy there?
Yeah?
Hi, Chrissy. This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
What?
This is Jubal from the radio show Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
And you're calling for me?
Yeah, your name's Chrissy, right?
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm calling for you. Did you recently go out on a date with a guy named Evan?
Oh. I did.
Yep.
You okay? Did he die?
No, he didn't. Are you hoping that he did?
A death call?
No. This is just like super weird.
You're the Chrissy that I'm looking for. You definitely are. You went out on a date with a guy named Evan, and Evan is a listener to our show.
Okay.
All right. And after your date with Evan, he emailed us, and he wanted to see if we could get you on the phone to talk about something.
Okay. Why didn't Evan just call me?
I'm not sure. Maybe he felt like this would be a conversation better for you and I to have.
All right. That sounds pretty dumb, but whatever.
Evan told us about your date,
Yeah?
and he talked about how you guys went out to a Greek restaurant.
Yeah, it was delicious.
Yep. He said he really enjoyed it. He thought you were really cool.
Cool.
Okay, but he did say there was one problem. Apparently, you ordered a bunch of food.
Yeah, what's the problem?
Well, the problem is the food that you ordered, I guess, was to take home to your kids.
Yeah, Paisley, Brian, and Jack. So what is the problem?
He feels like you sort of wronged him in making him pay for the entire bill, basically buying food for your family.
Are you kidding me right now?
No.
This is a joke, right?
No, I'm not. Not at all. He emailed
you
us.
serious?
Yeah, and he said he wanted us to call you today to ask you to pay him back for the money that he spent on the extra food.
What?
Yep.
Who wants to deprive children of food? What the hell is wrong with him?
Yeah, but he feels like he was on a date with you, so he didn't have a problem buying your meal. It was just when you ordered.
And it's myself and Paisley and Brian and Jack. Like, that's the deal.
But you gotta understand, he didn't even know you had kids going into this date.
Look, if someone's going to take me out, they have to accept me for who I am, and I am a mother, first and foremost.
Right.
So I don't really understand what the problem is, and I think he's got some balls asking for his money.
So you honestly didn't offer to pay for any of the food that you brought home.
No, I believe in chivalry, like open doors, pull out chairs, pay for the check.
Yeah, but paying for your meal is one thing. Paying for extra food so you can bring it home to your kids is another, don't you think?
Excuse me, am I on trial here? What the
No, we're literally just calling so he can get his money back because he feels like you owe him money for that.
Wow, that's pretty pathetic.
Are you? No, is it like you're going through a hard time right now and you just need help?
Hard time? No, I don't need help. What the No, I have a job. My kids have never had Greek food, so I thought it was a great opportunity to take them some. So really, I don't understand what your problem is.
It's just an interesting situation. I've never heard of anybody ordering extra food for their kids and then making their date pay for it.
Yeah.
Well, then you've never been on a date with me, and that's probably very likely not going to happen.
You sure? I was thinking about asking you out right now.
The thing is, I'm a mother, so my kids are always going to get their meals when they need them. So if I'm going to go out with you, I need to make sure that they are fed. Does he have a problem with that? Of course they're going to come first.
But
He does have a problem with it, yeah.
Basic manners.
Basic manners? Are you a f***ing woman hater? We're supposed to be on the same side. What are you talking about?
But your reasoning doesn't even make sense because by the time you got home, which apparently you were 1 to 2 hours late for the babysitter, which is rude in and of itself, your kids were long past dinner time.
Excuse me, how the hell do you know all of this?
That's because we talked to him about your date and he told us all that information.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's actually on the other line and wants to talk to you.
What?
Yeah. Evan, are you there?
Hey,
Wow. Hey?
I'm
That's
here.
all you have to say? Hey, I'm here.
Chrissy, I'm pretty upset. I'm going to be honest with you. I really want
You
my
know
money
what,
back.
Evan?
Yeah.
It takes a real scumbag to try and take food away from children and complain about what you paid for it.
I didn't know I was paying for 4 people on a 2-person date, though. 5 people.
That's really pathetic, Evan.
What's pathetic is lying about your intentions on our date.
My intentions were clear. I liked you, and I thought you liked me. So
I just didn't know that I was paying so much money for a 2-person date, and I'd really appreciate it if you chipped in. I just think it's crazy to expect me to pay that much.
I think it's crazy that you have to call up a radio station to fight your battles. That's pretty cowardly. What kind of man are you, Evan?
Wow.
I'm a real man.
Oh my God.
Way to state your case there, Evan.
If you were a real man, you would have paid for both bills and then asked me out on another date.
I didn't expect that those dinners would clear me out for the month.
The month? Oh, God, Evan, are you poor?
I'm not poor, but I'm not Warren Buffett either. Your expectations of me are ridiculous, and any guy who's going to accept that doesn't have their head on straight. And I think that you should pay me back part of that dinner, and I think then we will be even.
Oh,
Steven.
poor baby, getting all defensive.
Defensive is one way to put it, but another way to put it is sticking up for myself.
Well, Evan, you're not getting any money from me.
Well, Chrissy, I would like to ask if you go on a second date with Evan. We will pay for it, so Evan doesn't even have to worry about it. Would you go out with Evan again?
The only way I would ever go out with that again is if we agreed up front that he will take me and my children together so I don't have to deal with another radio embarrassment.
At least she's upfront about the deal this time.
Evan, will you take her and her whole family out for dinner again?
Sure, I'll take her, her kids, the Queen of England. I'll take them all out. Everybody on my dime.
That sounds like a really nice date.
Yeah, it does.
Yes, congratulations, you two. I guess you guys are going out again.
Oh, wow.
You're a great man, Evan.
I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, I thought you were really saying yes. I thought the Queen of England was going to come along and everything. That's sad.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
The guy on the phone for a second date update today asked the girl that he wants to call out in one of the most creative ways I've ever heard of. And that's saying a lot because I've been pretty creative in my dating life.
Yeah, I bet.
I remember one time I asked this girl out. I walked up to her and I said, "Hey, would you like to go out sometime? I'll give you full tongue."
That's not creative.
And she said no, and we didn't go out. But after looking back at all my years of dating, that was the most creative thing I've ever done. And this guy outdid me by far, which is impressive. Congratulations, Lucas.
Oh, thanks a lot, man. Thanks for having me on, guys.
No problem. I read your email, and it was very creative how you asked this girl out. First of all, what's her name?
Gemma.
Gemma. All right. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Gemma?
Well, she's really cute. We work together. We do a catering job, and, I always wanted to ask her out. It took me forever to actually, get the courage up to say anything to her.
How long had you been thinking about this?
Oh, man, it's been at least 8 months.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
Wow.
What'd you like so much about her?
She's one of those girls that's kind of, cute, but she doesn't know how cute she is, you know?
Okay.
So she's cute.
Very cute. Oh, my God, she's so cute.
That's cutest.
Wow.
Okay, so
Got that part.
what finally made you go, I'm going to ask her out? If you've been thinking about it for 8 months.
It's been 8 months. I just basically looked myself in the mirror, and I was like, you know what? If I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it.
Okay.
So
did you actually do something creative, or did you do something like Jubal described?
No, I think I did something pretty creative.
Okay.
So one night we were working together on this job, and we had all the food set up, and it's right before the event starts. And I said to her, "Will you please look over there, because there's this one special order that I don't want to screw up." Right? So she walks over there. My heart's thumping. She pulls up the lid of the dish, and underneath I had written, "Will you go out with me in spaghetti?"
Oh, that's kind of
That's
cute.
creative. You asked a girl out in spaghetti. I've never heard of that before.
Right?
So cool.
What was her reaction?
Well, I didn't know because I went in the other room and I started working these tables and stuff, and I'm thinking about it the whole time. And she doesn't say anything until the end of the night. We're cleaning up after everybody, and she comes up to me and she's like, "Did you write, 'Will you go out with me in spaghetti?'" And I was nervous because I thought that she didn't like it, but she says, "Did you really mean that?" And I said, "Yeah." So then we made plans to go out.
Awesome. Okay, so it did work.
Yeah, the spaghetti ask out actually worked.
All right.
pretty
So there's a
cute.
lesson that a lot of dudes can learn out there. If you're having trouble
Yeah.
asking a girl out, use some spaghetti. The spaghetti ask out trick brought to us by Lucas. What'd you guys do on your date when you actually went out?
Well, the next night, we're catering a job, and she was actually talking to me a lot, getting a little bit flirty, giving me the eyes. You know how it is.
Okay, so she's excited, obviously, about this date.
Yeah, things were going great. And then after we're cleaning up, she said, "You want to do something?" And I was like, "Of course."
You're like, yeah. Didn't you read my spaghetti letter, you idiot?
I'm telling you guys, people underrate the spaghetti.
Oh, I dig it, man.
So did you guys hang out that night?
Yeah. So we finished up the job. I take her out to my car. I was like, "Well, why don't you come back to my place? I'll make you some food. We'll have some wine, do that kind of thing." And she agreed. So we drive over to my place, and I actually made her, can you guess?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti, yeah.
All right, now it's getting a little old, Lucas. I'm not going to lie.
It's a little overkill now.
Yeah.
Like it.
Know when the joke should end.
She really liked it, though.
Okay.
Oh, good.
And it was good wine because it was from the catering company.
Oh.
They're not listening in.
So you mean you stole the wine? Is that what you're saying?
I borrowed, stole, who's keeping track?
Right. Okay,
that-
so you guys shared spaghetti and some stolen wine from your job.
Romantic.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
You know that she knows that you stole it from the catering company, right? I mean, she works for the same company. It's not a mystery where the nice bottle of wine came from.
Yeah, sure, she knew where it was from, but it's cool. We all do it. It's one of the perks of the job.
Yeah, right?
Was it also leftover spaghetti that you were serving her from the catering?
No, I made the spaghetti that night.
Okay, fresh spaghetti, old wine. Got it. So how did the date go, though, when you guys were actually having dinner and stuff?
We actually didn't even get to dinner because things started heating up. We started, making out a little bit.
Wow, right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
But then, a little bit into things, she started getting a little weird.
How so?
Well, she just kind of pulled back and then started being a little bit distant. And she said that she thought we were going too fast. And I was like, what?
Oh, maybe that's not weird. Maybe she just thought you were going too fast. I don't... I've never had a girl tell me to slow down before.
And then she just says to me, you know what? I don't know if it's best that I stay.
Whoa.
Wow, okay.
And that hit me like a ton of bricks.
Did you cry?
No, I didn't cry, but, I was upset. I wanted to go over to the spaghetti and write, no, please.
I think that's the way you should have just communicated with her the whole time was via spaghetti noodle. So did she leave right after that then?
Yeah. We work at the same place. We do all these same jobs together, and it's been incredibly weird. There's this weird vibe going on, and I don't know what to do.
I actually feel bad for you. Like 8 months, you're building this night up in your head. It's finally going exactly how you imagined it to, and then everything is apparently falling apart.
Thank you.
Have you tried to talk to her about this?
I've tried. I try and talk to her at the job. She just walks into the next room. I'm texting her. I'm calling her. And she never responds to anything.
And you were respectful when she said she wanted to slow down. You said, yeah, that's fine. That's cool. We can do that.
Yeah, and I was totally cool with that. I thought, maybe we are taking things too fast.
All right, well, we'll play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update, okay?
All right, thanks a lot, you guys.
Yeah, man, hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
If you're just joining us for today's second date update, Lucas is on the phone, and he wants to call a girl named Gemma today. They actually started making out 20 minutes in to their first date.
Yeah, get it.
But now she's not calling him back, and he doesn't know why. And he asked her out in one of the most creative ways I've ever heard. He asked her out with a plate of pasta.
Yes.
They both work at a catering company, and one night when they were working together, he spelled out, "Will you go out with me?" in spaghetti. And she eventually said yes. But now, like I said, she's not answering any of his phone calls, and she's kind of ignoring him at work. Lucas, what I think you need to do is go beyond words now at this point.
What do you mean by that?
Well, the pasta thing worked so good for you, right? You got a date.
Yeah.
I think you should do it again. But this time, don't spell anything out. Just get a hot dog and a bun. And maybe a couple of meatballs and place them all appropriately on a plate and show that to her. And she might be down to go out with you again after that.
I should have called you before the first time.
Yeah,
See?
no kidding.
I got all the tricks, man. I got all the tricks.
Yeah. Especially since she said that she thought that they were moving too fast. That's not too fast at all, Jubal.
We'll call her right now and see if we can figure out why she's not calling you back, okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Hello,
May I speak to Gemma, please?
this is she.
Hey, Gemma, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Okay.
You work in catering, so I'm guessing you're not up early in the morning.
Well, how do you know that I work in catering?
I kind of know a lot more than you think I know about you, Gemma.
Why do you do it like that?
Okay, that's super creepy. And who are those people that are in the background?
That's Brooke.
Why is that weird guy laughing?
That's Jose, the
Yeah.
laughing guy. And then there's me. My name is Jubal, and this is Brooke and Jubal in the morning. It's a radio show.
Why are you guys calling me?
She's like,
Well-
and that doesn't make it any better.
I'm calling you because you went out on a date with a guy who listens to our show, and he emailed us and asked if we could get you on the phone.
Wow. Okay.
The guy that wanted us to call you today, his name is Lucas.
Oh, God.
And I know you know who Lucas is because you guys work together.
Yes. I'm trying to change jobs.
What? You're trying to change jobs to avoid Lucas?
Yeah.
That is really intense.
Why?
Because it's just a little too awkward for me.
All right, well, what is so awkward? I mean, he told us a little bit about your date. He told us that you guys went out one night after work and went back to his place to eat, and you drank a little bit. He told us that you guys started making out at a certain point.
He's telling you that we made out? Why is he telling people about our date so explicitly?
He didn't.
Well, he didn't give us any like crazy details. He just said that you guys were making out. At a certain point, you stopped and said that you wanted to go, and then you left and haven't talked to him since.
I will say he was completely respectful of you, and he was so excited. I mean, it sounds like he's had a crush on you for months and months and was so looking forward to this night.
Well, it's like so uncomfortable. I don't know. Yes, he was obviously very excited and very inexperienced.
Excited and inexperienced.
Wait, that's
You mean
a
like,
different word.
was he a bad kisser, or I'm kind of scared to ask you what you mean by he was so excited.
It's actually just everything. Everything possible just seemed like he's never been with a woman before ever in his life. The date started with me going at his door, and he shook my hand when he saw me. I've known this guy for 8 months, and he shook my hand.
Oh, come on.
And I was like, okay, maybe he's being a little bit charming. Maybe he's trying to be sweet. Yeah. I'll let it fly. And then we walked in, and he had like already opened wine that he was totally open about it. He was like, yeah, I got it from the catering gig. I mean, so he essentially stole wine, but it was already open from being poured at the catering event that we were just at.
Okay. So he's cutting corners on your date.
Yeah, I mean, this was a first date, and he wanted to impress me, and he impressed me by opened, aired out, used wine.
But you still made out with him.
Well, because I thought, okay, well, maybe he's being really sweet and sure. Maybe he's really nervous. But then he started to ask me permission to do everything. And when I say everything, I mean he was like, is it okay if I sit next to you? Yes. Is it okay if I touch your hand like this? Can I just put my hand on your hand?
Weird.
Oh, that's weird.
I mean, everything. So imagine, like, can I kiss you right now? Can I kiss you with tongue right now? Is that okay?
That's so awkward.
And I was
All right,
like,
I've heard-
no. So awkward.
I've heard people do the "can I kiss you" thing, and I know some girls have a split reaction to that. Some girls are like, just go for it. Some girls are like, I like it when they ask. Did he really ask you, can I kiss you with tongue?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Can I use my tongue?
Did you just...
Can I use my tongue?
Was that the final question that made you stop saying yes?
The final question, which was the total, I mean, it should have been, can I kiss you with tongue? But it was, can I grab your boobs?
Okay.
Like, quote unquote, grab your boobs.
Can I grab your boobs? Not like, ooh, let me see them, boob, nothing like cool, dirty. It was like, can I grab your boobs? Grab your boobs.
Wait a minute.
And then I just had to dip out. I mean, it was so terrible.
I can understand how that would be awkward to ask everything.
The most.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Okay, I just need your permission. Is it okay if I let you know that
Don't even.
Is it okay if I let you know that he's on the other line listening right now and wants to talk to you?
Are you me right now?
No, I'm not. Lucas?
Gemma,
Oh my God.
I didn't ask you permission to do every single little thing. I mean, you're going a little overboard here.
Really?
Yeah. Listen, you don't
Lucas,
just want to
it was
dive in.
everything.
You know, I want to make sure that you're okay with things.
No, Lucas. If you were to ask me one time, can I kiss you right now? That can be still sexy, but it's not sexy when you ask about everything. I mean, you were asking about sitting next to me, holding my hand, topics of conversation.
I was trying to take it slow. I didn't want to like put you off or make you feel uncomfortable or anything.
Look, if there's anything that we get from this really inappropriate and awkward phone call right now on a radio show, it's that you should never ever do that again.
Well, how do I know if it's okay to touch your boob if I don't ask you?
Oh, sweet.
I can't even believe you're asking me that question. No man has to ask that question.
Guys, stop dogging on Lucas so much. He's trying to be respectful of you, Gemma. You
Well,
know?
he should
Thank you,
stop
Brooke.
trying. I get that he's trying to be respectful, but at a certain point, he needs to pick up on the cue that it's just not working.
Hey, if I remember correctly from that night, you were saying yes to a lot of things.
Good point.
I only said yes because I had already consumed nearly that entire bottle of the open aired out wine that you stole from the catering company, and I was too lit.
Oh, and that's a responsible way to behave on a first date?
I'm not saying that I was trying to be responsible. That's not my problem. I'm not the one calling into a radio show.
Gemma, he
You
liked
could have at least returned my calls.
No, it would have been too awkward. I wasn't prepared to talk to you.
Gemma, he liked you for 8 months. You're telling me that entire time that you guys worked together, you didn't have any feelings towards him.
Thank
And
you.
you have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
personality. You're sweet, but as soon as you were alone with me, it was like the worst date I've ever been.
Oh, man.
That is harsh. harsh, man. He didn't do anything wrong. He was just awkward, for God's sake.
She's honest.
But imagine, like a woman's spark is lit by somebody being manly. At least that's how mine is. And as soon as somebody starts acting like a 12-year-old, I can't do it.
Well, you know what you like, I guess.
Wow. I wish I never grabbed your boob on that date.
I wish you had just asked it. I wish you had just grabbed it.
Yeah, well, I think we have a little different memory of that night because you were pretty turned on when I was doing it.
Oh, maybe the wine kicked in.
I think we definitely have a different memory of that night.
Well, Gemma, I would like to ask you a question.
Oh, God.
Gemma, is it okay if I ask you if you go out on a second date with Lucas because we will pay for it?
You know what? No, I got to say no. I'm so sorry. You know, Lucas, I wish you all of the best. I really, really do. I think you're very sweet. My recommendation for you is that you never, just do not ask questions like that again. Just go ahead and go for it. Find that self-confidence within yourself and move forward.
Oh my God, it's like
You sound like a motivational speaker. It's awesome.
Listen, there are plenty of girls that want me, all right? I don't need you. I don't need anything like that. So, I hope, have a great one.
You're right, Lucas. There are plenty of girls out there who want you. Just ask them. I'm sure they're out there.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Would you mind if I kiss you with tongue this time? It's Brooke and Jubal in the morning talking about today's second date update. Lucas wanted to call Gemma, and we got her on the phone and found out why she wasn't calling him back. It's because he asked permission for everything and even uttered those words, "Can I kiss you with tongue?" She was not into that.
Oh, I think his intentions were good. You know, the way he did it, not so smooth.
Yeah, I think it's okay to get consent and make sure things are cool, but there's a point when you just kind of have to know that things are okay.
Yeah, when they're kissing you back.
Yeah, when they're kissing you back, like at that point, you can kind of test the limit, and they're like, hey, don't put your hand there. You take your hand away.
Yes.
But you don't want to ask for everything, and he did that, and they decided not to go out again.
Can you imagine how bad that'd be? It would ruin the mood every time.
Every single time, yeah.
Like, can I take off your top?
Yeah.
Can I take off your pants?
I don't know. It's kind of like a game of Simon Says at some point, right?
Remember, if you want to do a second date update, all you have to do is email the show, and we will call the person who didn't call you back. Just 5 minutes away from your shot at the phrase that pays.
Moving 92.5.
Industry that you're in, maybe help you increase your business. Number 2, the sex, and then number 3, the sex.
What?
Those are the 3 reasons that business conventions are really, really good.
What are you talking about?
Anytime you meet somebody at a convention, you just assume you're probably going to be having sex with them.
What are you in the porn industry? Like,
No,
what
it's just-
industry are you in?
Everybody knows that about business conventions. It's like you're in town for one night, you're for the weekend, and you're just there, and you go and you learn whatever it is that you have to learn for the day. Then you go out drinking at night, and usually probably hook up with somebody.
All right.
And that's where James, who's on the phone today, he met the girl that he wants to call at a business convention. So I'm assuming that they slept together. Did you, James?
We did not.
Oh, what are you doing, man? Come on, it's a convention girl. They're so easy.
I guess I don't know if that's true yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Is that the way it is? You know what? I haven't been to a business convention in a long time. So I was at a marketing company for like a couple years, and it was terrible. But that's what I remember always thinking every time I had to go to convention. Was like, I'm going to get lucky.
Did you ever?
By myself? Sure. But that's just...
So there's no fact at all to what you're saying.
Are business conventions like what I think they are?
You know, it's a lot of people. We're trapped in a space. You know, when you get out, I guess things could happen. It happened for me this time, but, you know.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about the girl that you want to call today?
Yeah, her name is Kira. We met at a convention.
Really?
I come in out of town.
Interesting. You met at a convention?
Yeah,
Odd.
Talking
we
about
met at
that.
this convention. Shock, right? I come in from out of town every couple of weeks. That's where I met her, and we just kind of hit it off.
Have you ever seen her before, or?
No, this is my first time seeing her. Was at this specific convention.
Okay.
And did you guys actually go out on a date, or did you just hang out all day at the convention?
Well, we hung out, and then I said, hey, do you want to grab, some dinner tonight? I'm leaving tomorrow if you want to grab dinner tonight. And she said, yeah.
Was it clear that it was a date? Because I feel like if you're hanging out all day with business people, It could just be like, hey, we're both from out of town. We both have to go out to eat.
That's when the sex happens.
Oh, of course. Sorry.
Have you never been in business before, ever?
Apparently not.
I mean, she knew that this was more than a dinner date. And, honestly, I was kind of hoping that we would end up having a little bit of sex maybe at the end of the night.
Yes.
There you go. I actually knew that already because I read your email, and it says at one point you started actually asking her about getting physical with each other.
What?
Yeah, after a few drinks, I did.
That sounds so awkward to me.
Well, I mean, we're having a couple of drinks, and I felt comfortable. I felt like she was comfortable, too. So, it wasn't, I guess, looking back at it, it was not the kind of move I should have made.
How did you approach that with her, though? What'd you say?
I was just like, how about, I got my room key, hotel's right next door. I was trying to be sly, and it was not sly.
What did she say to you back?
She kind of got a little uncomfortable and was, ready to go, and I felt awful. I'm a human. And I offered to walk her back to her hotel, and she said no thanks, and got a cab, and I just went back to my place. And, I tried to reach out. I did, because I felt bad, and I haven't heard from her.
What'd you do by trying to reach out? You text her or call her?
Yeah, sent her a text. That seems to be the easiest way to get a hold of her, and I haven't heard anything.
I think the problem was that you actually asked her to, go to your hotel. Everybody knows the way you approach that is you just slide your room key across the table and wink 3 times.
So gross.
Lesson learned.
And then you go, uh-huh, mm-hmm. And then she'll just pick up on that hint.
I mean, all joking aside, I really, really liked this girl. And, that's why I wrote in, because I want to try to make this happen,
Okay, so do you want to apologize to her for being maybe a little too forward and then ask her for a second date?
Absolutely. I want to apologize, and I want to see if I can't get a second chance,
Mm-hmm. You feel like she got the wrong impression.
Yeah, that's not really me.
That's not really you, but if she would have said yes to going back to your room, you would have absolutely done it, right?
Yeah.
So it's you
He's
sometimes. So sometimes that's really you, but you would actually like to date her.
I mean, there's 2 sides to each person, right?
Yeah.
Before all that happened, I really do think we had an actual connection, and I'm very interested and attracted to her.
So you think you just messed up by trying to get it back to your room same night that you met?
I totally messed up. I totally messed it up. I mean, we were drinking, and, you know how it is. You take signs that might not be there,
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update, all right?
All right, thanks.
All right, hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
We've got James on the phone with us, and today he wants to call a girl named Kiara. They met at a convention. He thinks he screwed up their first date because during dinner, he asked her if she wanted to go back to his hotel room. Mm-hmm. Not to, check out the great deal on Wi-Fi that they have there or the great amenities, to do stuff that adults do with each other in hotel rooms on occasion.
Yes.
And she turned him down and said no and hasn't talked to him since. But he'd like to get her on the phone because they met at this convention. He's in town once in a while. He wants to go out with her again, on an actual date and not just try to, get some butt.
Okay.
So,
Butt?
yeah.
God, that is one sexy way to put it. Oh, my
right,
God. How could a
James.
girl say no?
You're about ready to give her a call and see if you can do some damage control and get another date?
Let's see what happens.
All right. The tough part about this for you is convincing her that you're not just interested in sex.
Right.
Because you already went there, so how do you go back and be like, no, I promise that wasn't the only thing that I'm interested in. I would actually like to date you.
Charm?
Yeah, maybe.
You think you have some of that, James?
Well, I guess we'll find out today.
If you had charm, you would have been able to get her to go
exactly.
back to your room. You wouldn't even be having this problem.
Yeah, I guess it's the power of persuasion then.
I think just be honest and true to yourself, James, is probably the best goal here.
Okay, yeah, I'll just, apologize and let her know that I was just too forward and see if we can't, go back and try it again and show her who I really am.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to dial the phone right now and get her on the phone. You ready?
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Kiara, please?
Speaking.
Hi, Kiara. This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. How are you?
This is who?
Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
Jubal. I'm sorry, I don't know who this is.
Okay. I'm calling from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. It's a radio show.
Okay.
One of our listeners recently emailed us about you, asking if we could get you on the phone.
Someone wants me on the phone?
Yeah, sort of. We do a segment on our show called the Second Date Update. It's basically if you go out on a date with somebody and then blow them off, they email us and ask if we can get you on the phone and ask if they did something wrong.
Who would do that?
His name is James, and you recently met him at a convention.
God, really?
Yep. James emailed us and asked if we could get a hold of you because you're apparently not answering any of his text messages.
Did you like James at all?
Well, I liked him on our date until the very end, but no.
Are you talking about the point where he asked if you wanted to go back to his hotel room?
He told you that?
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
He told us because we asked him about your date and about meeting you. He said that he really liked you, but he also felt like he kind of overstepped his bounds there, and he felt bad about it.
He kind of overstepped his boundaries? I mean, did he tell you everything?
That's all I know is that you guys met at a convention, went out for dinner, and he asked you to go back to his room, and that's the last he heard from you. That's all he told us.
Okay, so did he tell you towards the end of dinner, and I understand we both had a couple of drinks, but did he tell you that he said to me, hey, you know, I'm in town every couple of weeks, and I would love to have you as my friend with benefits.
That is seriously what he propositioned you?
He was already trying to get me back to his place that night, which I figured out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not stupid. It's not my first convention, but just be like, hey, baby, I'm in town every couple of weeks. You could be my regular friends with benefits? What the hell is that all about?
Is that really how he said it? Because that's not how he explained it to us at all.
Well, I'm sure he's being all sweet when he explains it to you guys. He doesn't want to sound like a f***ing dick.
Yeah, good point. I mean, so...
And then, I mean, when I said no, because seriously, I've known him over dinner for maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah.
He accused me of being a f***ing prude.
No, he didn't.
What?
He sure did.
How did he say that?
So weird. Because I value myself as a human being, not just as a woman, but as a human being. He just doesn't want to spread my legs over cheap wine and shitty steak.
Oh, my God.
That makes
So-
me a prude.
What did he say to you? I mean, did he flat out call you a prude?
He did. He called me a f***ing prude at dinner, and that was that.
Oh,
And from
That
there,
is-
I got up and I went to go get a cab to go back to my hotel.
That is so like the way he painted it was how much he enjoyed your company and how great he thought you were. Like, I would have never guessed he was that sleazy.
I would have never thought he was that sleazy when he so very nicely asked me out after we hung out all day. But as it turns out, he's no different than the majority of the sleazeballs who go to these conventions and are like, hey, time to hook up. Wife's not around. I mean, they're all f***ing kids.
Does this happen a lot at conventions?
Oh, my God, yeah. I mean, everyone who's ever been to a convention knows it's just like code for one big fest. And it's
funny.
my
You was
friends.
right.
I was joking about that
Oh, my
earlier. We were talking about it, and I was like, that's the way at least I would think of conventions. But, I mean, I guess you get a bunch of horny businessmen out there. Is this the first time something like this has happened to you?
Actually, it is, because this is the first time I've ever said yes to going to dinner with anyone.
Yeah.
Normally, I just go, I do my thing, I hang out with whoever's there, and I just go back to my hotel room and go to bed.
Yeah.
So
Dude.
he told us that he tried to text you after your date.
Oh,
Hey.
yeah, he sure did.
Oh. Did he
What
not
did he
just
say?
apologize in his text?
No. I mean, he did. He's like, listen, I'm sorry if things got out of hand. And I wrote him back. I'm like, just don't contact me ever again. And then the guy has the balls to say, well, you don't know what you're missing with this d-. And I'm like, what?
That's so
He really
gross.
said that to you?
He really, I still have the text message.
Wow.
my
He,
gosh,
he,
that is
he
so-
left all of that out. It didn't, from his side of the story, it sounds like he was very sweet to you after, like, I really apologize for asking you to go back to my room. That was so wrong of me. Wouldn't you love to just kind of talk to him about it, though?
Actually, I really wouldn't like to talk to him about it. I hope I never talk to him or see him again
Oh,
at all.
that's a shame, because he's on the phone listening right now. He wants to talk to you.
What?
Yeah.
Kira, don't you think you're like over-exaggerating this?
No, I seriously am not over-exaggerating. I have those text messages that you sent me, and you're like a foul, crass pig, and I don't want
All right,
to talk to you
well,
anymore.
Kira, please, just hang on 1 second, all right? I apologize for those text messages, and, it isn't really me, but, I mean, at the same time, we were both drinking a lot. I don't remember sending you that text message. I remember apologizing, but I don't remember saying anything about my I wouldn't do that.
I thought it was just another piece of proof of what a disgusting pig that you are, that I saved it, showed it to all the women that I know that are going to the convention in a week to make sure that they didn't as much as even say hello to you.
That's so awesome.
But you know what? You were the one that went out with me. Didn't you just say that you knew that's what these conventions were all about, and yet you came out to dinner with me? You can't place this on me.
What? I went out to dinner with you. I didn't go back to your hotel room with you and then suddenly become a prude. There's a big difference when you learn it.
Well, but here's the deal. You got me going. We were there together, and then all of a sudden you're going to walk away? That sounds like a prude to me.
What?
We were drinking, you were flirting, you were trying to get me going, and you got me going.
Oh, my gosh.
James,
So
why do you have to say it like that?
Stop.
It's true. You did it to me. You got me.
Oh, my God. Seriously, you guys, I'm so sick of this guy. He's a pig. If you can't tell that, all of you are delusional.
No, I don't think anybody doubts that. Everybody's on your side with this one, Kira.
Once I heard the phrase "got me going"
Oh, God.
a few times in there,
So
I'm on board. Hey, Kira, regardless, would you like to go out with James again on a second date? I'd love to pay for it.
No. Huh.
No?
Hell no.
What if we don't get him going as bad on this date?
Oh.
I would sooner go out with my dog.
Yeah, you know, whatever, you prude. You need to learn how to throw your signals out.
Yeah, it's definitely Kira's fault.
Go get a prostitute next time, honey.
Well, you know what? There's another convention coming up. I'll see what I can do.
Now you guys got me going with that whole prostitute thing. And when you got me going, you got me going.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Moving 92.5. Second date update.
Whenever people hear someone's an artist, there's a lot of stereotypes that come with that. You know, that they're financially strained.
Yeah.
They can't hold down a real job.
Uh-huh.
They never dress properly. They're socially awkward.
Yeah, true.
Do lots of drugs and alcohol.
Oh, yeah. Now we're talking about artists.
Sounds like a good life.
I mean, they're basically one step above radio people.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I'm envious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're all those things, but at least the artists have a little bit of talent.
Oh, but I have a quote problem.
Yeah.
Like, come on, I'm an artist.
Nobody ever says you got a face for art either.
Right.
You know?
So I feel very,
man.
very honored to be speaking with a real artist who needs our help with a second date update today. His name is Seth. What's up, Seth?
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, you're too happy to be an artist. Are you trying to be Bob Ross or something?
No,
what are you doing,
that's
man?
where the drugs come in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I was saying, so we're not all moody and depressed people, but we some of us do actually make a living selling our paintings.
That's awesome.
That's
so
impressive.
You're a painter then?
I am, yeah. I have a specialty, actually. I've developed this sort of niche for myself over the years. I've been painting pictures of crabs, and they do okay. They don't.
Cool.
I'm not.
That's cool.
Okay, so if we go to the art expo and we ask for the guy with crabs, they'll point us in your direction.
Right. That does happen.
Okay.
But it's not like crabs like you might be thinking. It's sort of like crabs as if they were like members of society,
Oh, I like it. It's like the dogs that are playing poker, but instead it's crabs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like crabs on a taxi, crabs getting a tattoo, I actually have one which I thought was really kind of ironic, crabs at a restaurant ordering lobster.
Oh, the irony, the symbolism there.
Didn't you call about a date, though? I mean, this is
No,
great, but...
I just want to talk about I think we're talking to in 100 years, people are going to look back on Seth kind of like Leonardo da Vinci, like
I can only hope.
underappreciated in his time. And your crab paintings are going to sell for millions of dollars.
All right.
Legendary name Seth. The great Seth. We didn't know how great he was.
Right.
All right.
That's the crab man.
Yeah, the crab man.
All right.
But no, I am calling about a date because I had a recent experience, and maybe you guys can help me out with this.
Okay, well, what's the name of the woman that you went out with?
Her name was Michaela, and at an art expedition, I was selling my paintings, and she was very interested in one. And actually, she bought one from me, which was super cool. So.
All right, so you were able to pay for the dinner when you guys went out. Sweet.
That's right.
It's nice to give woman crabs on the first meeting, but that's cool.
Did you ask her out? Is that something you typically do with customers?
She bought the painting, and then she just kind of hung around. As we were talking, she was just asking me about my work, and I started flirting with her a little bit. I started using, some jokes that I tell, the crab jokes. Like, I'll give you an example. What do you call it? The crab has a part-time job.
What?
A side hustle.
Because it hustles to the side, because crabs move sideways.
That's a thinker.
Anybody?
Yeah.
That's a highbrow crab.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
There's a little bit of a dad joke there.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she and I are talking, and we actually bonded over our mutual love of coffee. We both drink a whole lot of it.
Okay,
Coffee,
yes.
I mean, like 8 to 10 cups a day.
Dang. No wonder you're talking so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've already had about 4 cups so far.
Wow.
A couple months ago, I bought a really high-end quality espresso maker. It cost me about $2,000. It's amazing.
Oh, damn.
So I told her about it, and she said that she wanted to see it, and I was like, well, great, that's my in, and so I said, well, if you'd like to, after I close up here today, we can come over and I'll make you a cup of coffee, we can hang out a little bit,
I mean, that's honestly the least innocent cup of coffee date I've ever heard.
Yeah. I mean, that's an old cliche when you invite someone up to your place for a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
But you're talking an actual cup of coffee.
Yeah, come for the coffee, leave with crabs.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, so she comes over, and I fire up the machine. I make a couple espressos. I steam some milk, and ask her how she likes it. I've got not just this maker, but I've got a whole set there that I could just make any kind of coffee drink imaginable.
Okay, so you got Starbucks inside your apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
So was she impressed?
So she was really impressed. She said she loved it. We talked for a little while, and then she decided that she had to go home for some reason. Personally, I think that we were starting to connect. We were having sort of a spark, a moment between us, and I don't think she wanted to take it so soon.
I mean, she may have not even thought that this was a date.
Yeah, so was there any part of this experience that was very romantic for you?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like there was a strong connection. Look, it was flirty, it was just there. There was a...
Yeah, you say that, but she's not calling you back, so you obviously read something a little wrong. Can you think of something that went wrong?
Well, I don't know. I mean, like when she started to leave, I took her downstairs to get her Uber. I tried kissing her, but she pulled back from the kiss, so that didn't work out so well. She actually hit her head on the car as she pulled back.
Oh.
Like, no, not like she didn't hurt herself, It's just a little bump, But,
I just picture her like trying to climb into an Uber and you're leaning over following her with a kiss and she's like trying to scramble away as fast as
Oh,
she
that
can.
sounds so terrible. I swear I'm not a creeper.
Yeah, you don't seem creepy.
Yeah, I mean, nothing about what you've described sounds like it would be a reason for her to not call you. Is there anything awkward or weird that happened during your encounter?
Okay, there was one point where we bumped into my ex-wife, but it really was like no big deal.
Wait a minute.
How did you just gloss over that?
I mean, I thought for sure it was hitting the head while trying to escape a kiss, but where does the ex-wife come in?
Yeah, it really wasn't a big deal. I mean, it was quick. My ex and I, we've been divorced for about 5 months, and we just ran into it. She said hi. It was nothing. I can't imagine that had anything to do with it.
Yeah, I can. I can imagine real easily that it had something to do with it.
All right. Well, we're going to play a song. We'll come back and we'll call Michaela for you and try and get you your second date update, okay?
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right. If you're just tuning in, we're on the phone with Seth, a.k.a. the Crabs guy.
Self-proclaimed.
Yeah. Which it's not a reference to his romantic history. Seth's an artist that specializes in painting crabs in human-like situations.
I love it. I want to buy one.
Yeah.
I kind of like it too. One pincher is bigger than the other. It just kind of makes a funny dynamic.
Yeah. Just imagine just crabs playing basketball, crabs eating tacos.
Oh, crabs eating tacos.
Yeah, you get it. He does all the funny things that crabs do in human situations.
Yeah.
So Seth met a woman named Michaela while selling his art in an expo, and they had a nice day together. She bought one of his paintings. They bonded over their mutual addiction to coffee. He even showed her his $2,000 espresso machine back at his place.
Dang.
And there was an awkward moment at the end of the night where he tried to kiss her at her Uber, and she pulled back and ended up hitting her head on the car door.
Ouch. Oh,
but beyond that, he's not really sure what could have caused this date to
You're leaving
end
something out.
Yeah, he like nonchalantly adds at the end that he ran into his ex-wife who
Oh, right.
he's only been divorced from for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Or 5 months, whatever, same difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did drop that in there, too. So one of those things must be the reason.
No
but
wonder he can't figure it out.
what are you feeling here, Seth?
Yeah, I don't know. I really hope that you guys can convince her to see me again. I think she was a lovely person, and we hit it off, and we had a great time.
You didn't describe your interaction with your ex-wife at all. Like, I feel like we need some sort of background on that before we call this girl.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was so inconsequential. I mean, it was nothing. It was just sort of like a high and by kind of moment.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
I don't know. I mean, it's only 5 months. Whatever.
Let's
All right,
call
you say
Michaela
so.
and see what she has to say, because we could speculate about this all day.
Sure.
We just got to get to the bottom of it and make a call. You ready to do this, Seth?
Yeah.
All right. Let's dial the phone number right now. Here we go.
Hello,
Hi, can I speak to Michaela, please?
this is her.
Hi, Michaela. My name's Jeffrey from the radio show Brooke and Jeffrey in the Morning. You have a second to talk with us?
What is this about?
Well, we do a segment on our show called a second date update. That's where if you go out with someone and afterwards, if they're not calling you back, you can email our show and we'll reach out to that person for you to figure out the reason why.
Okay, and what does this have to do with me?
So recently we got an email from a guy who's frustrated because he's been trying to get a hold of you and you're not calling him back. His name's Seth.
Seth?
Seth, yeah.
Oh,
The artist that you bought the crab painting from?
So chill.
I mean, it did sound like a chill hangout with him.
yeah, no, it was cool. I bought a painting.
Mm-hmm.
It's cute. It's crabs bowling.
Oh. Yeah, he didn't tell us what painting you bought. It's okay.
That sounds awesome.
It's cute. I like it.
All right. Well, he told us a little bit about you guys hanging out, and he said from his end, it all seemed like you guys had a great time together. And he's not sure why you're avoiding his phone calls.
Really? He didn't mention anything?
Well,
He mentioned a couple
he
things.
did mention a few things that he's worried might have ruined things, but we'd like to hear what happened from your perspective.
Okay. Well, I don't know, like, how much he told you. He's a crab painter. I met him at the art show.
Mm-hmm.
He had all his crabs on display. It was cute. He's like one of the quirky artist type guys.
Yeah.
I picture him with curly hair for some reason. Anybody else?
I'm not sure.
Does he have curly hair?
You know what? He does.
I knew it.
Dude,
I knew it.
That's the problem. He has curly hair.
No,
and-
I'm not saying that.
Oh, I was
I'm just saying he's quirky. Like, we did talk to him, and he is kind of a little nutty, for sure.
Like most artists.
But he's nutty, man.
I feel like that's not a nice thing to say.
Yeah, it's not bad. He just sounds like he drinks a lot of coffee, too.
He's fun. He's an art guy, and I'm kind of like that too. I'm like a little weird, a little out there, and so
what exactly is the problem, though? Like, what went wrong where you're not interested in seeing him again?
well, if he told you about our date and what happened, I'm sure you can kind of guess what the problem was.
I mean, he told us about the attempted kiss at the end of the date where you knocked your head on an Uber trying to get away from him.
Yeah, at that point, I kind of was just over it and ready to head home.
Okay, so it happened earlier.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So did he tell you about the whole wife thing?
Yeah, he said ex-wife, that there was a quick run-in.
Like a high and by thing.
Yeah, he kind of downplayed it as like a 5-minute or just quick, like, hi, bye. It was kind of weird, but you guys moved on.
Okay, yeah. So here's what really happened. So we head over to his place, and he wants to show me his $2,000 espresso machine. I'll have a cup of coffee, whatever. Cool. So as soon as we get in, we walk over to the kitchen, and there's a woman.
There's a woman in his kitchen.
Yeah. She's like cooking something or fixing something. I don't know what she was doing, but it was a little weird, and just like, oh, hey, this is Michaela. Hey, how you doing?
Okay, and so I'm guessing you were assuming this is as a roommate or something.
Or like a friend.
Yeah.
So I'm like, who is that? Like, why is there a chick in your kitchen? He goes, oh, that's my ex-wife.
Oh, Wait.
I'm like, what?
Wait,
what do you mean?
I ran into my ex-wife happened in the kitchen?
So, like, once she left the room, I was like, who is she? Like, what? What is this weird Three's Company dynamic going on? Like, what is this? And so he's being very just, like, nonchalant about it. Like, it's no big deal. You know, she's my ex-wife. We've been divorced for, like, 5 months now. She's a mail-order bride, and it didn't work out.
Oh, my God.
Back it up. Hold on a second. Mail-order bride?
Were those the words he used?
Yes, verbatim. She's a mail-order bride.
So she's someone who married him to get a green card or a visa to come to the States.
I don't know the situation with that. Oh, I don't know.
Can I say something? Can I clear something up, please?
Oh. Wow.
Hey, Michaela, we didn't wait to call him in, but he messed it up. We need to tell you that Seth's been on the other line listening, and he heard everything that you said.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Michaela.
Seth, you're supposed to wait.
Michaela, I thought I explained to you, okay, when she came over to this country and, yeah, she was a mail-order bride, it just didn't work out.
Can you even use that phrase? Like, I don't get it. Like, you got paid to marry her, she paid you. What happened?
It's an arrangement. She wanted to come here, and we communicated and emailed back and forth, and we thought we would give it a try. And, it just didn't work out romantically. We realized we weren't a match that way.
So if you're divorced, doesn't she have to go back?
We're trying to figure it out. I feel bad because I brought her over here. So what I've been doing is I've actually communicated with the company that arranged us, and we're trying to find her a different mail-order husband somewhere in the area.
She's not like a rescue dog, okay? You don't just, like, pair her with a new house.
Is this like those ads, like singles in your area want to marry you?
And I'm pretty sure this is highly illegal.
I didn't know you guys were going to call him. I thought we were just talking about what happened.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I love your crabs. You're a nice guy, but,
Michaela, look, is there anything that I could do? I would really like to see you again. I thought that we really connected. Next time we get together, I can actually make sure that she's not there. I'll give her a text ahead of time.
That's convenient. Thank you.
Listen, maybe you should just focus on rehoming your mail-order bride.
Oh, my God, this is terrible.
I think there are different possibilities and different ways that relationships pan out, and I thought that you and I really connected, and I'm so glad you appreciate my art, and I really want to share things with you, and it would be really nice if we could see each other again,
See, look, he's honest.
But he still lives with his ex-wife.
We realize we're just not compatible that way, We will sleep together, but there's no emotions there.
No, not
Seth, why are you dropping that? I was, like, on board with you. Why are you doing that?
It's
Why
emotionless,
would you say that?
though, Brooke.
No, not
Because I just want you to understand that she's really no big deal.
Yeah, how would she feel if she heard you say that?
She doesn't speak English. She couldn't understand.
You guys, I don't know what to tell you, Michaela.
It sounds
I was almost on board.
What do you think? We'll offer to send you and Seth out on another date. We'll pay for it.
Yeah, it's going to be a no. I mean...
Yeah, it's going to be a no?
Yeah.
There's a yeah and a no in there.
Let's not close the book on this chapter. Come on, I know we can have some connection.
Listen, how about next time you're having a show, you can text me, and I'll pop in and check out your crabs. All right?
Okay.
No to the date, yes to the crab.
Okay.
Confusing, but we'll take it.
Yeah. Is that successful? I guess it's as good as it gets.
If that's all I can get, I'll gladly see you again at my next art show.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
Right.
And I hope you love your crab bowling.
I've never been happier about a man giving me crabs before.
Yeah. It's crabtivating, if anything.
Moving 92.5.
Are you single and feeling out of the loop? Put away that mouse and get out of the house. Join In the Loop, Seattle's brand new activities club just for singles. Go to intheloopsingles.com today.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
Not a lot of people know this about me, but if I go out on a date with somebody and it's a good date,
I will like wait an hour or so after, and then I will call them to thank them for the date, and I had a good time and everything else.
Hold on, you'll actually call?
I actually call the number.
You don't
Yeah.
like text?
No, I call to say thank you.
I didn't even know you knew how to
my
do that.
Standard thing. Well, I don't really talk to them. I just call, and then I block the number, and when they answer, I just go, and if she knows it's me calling to say thank you in the special way that I do, then we'll go out again because we obviously click.
Uh-huh.
If she doesn't know it's me, no big deal. I'm sure I'll see her again at some point. So,
so weird.
Not worried about it. But Bruce, who is on the phone today and wants to do a second date update, is very confused why his date's not calling him back because apparently after they went out, he called her to say thank you. They had a good conversation, and now she's not calling him back at all. I'm curious, Bruce, do you do the call the same way I do?
Please say no.
No, man.
Try it next time. Women love heavy breathing in the phone.
Yeah, I'll definitely be sure to try that.
Okay, cool. First of all, tell us a little bit about how you met the girl that you want to call today.
Well, her name's Madison. We met online. You know, I've done it a few times. Have you guys tampered with the online dating?
Craigslist, yeah.
Craigslist. That's not online dating, Jubal.
Yeah, it's weird. Most
That's
of people
just-
want you to pay them.
Yeah, that's weird, right? Usually you pay services.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I went through eHarmony.
Okay.
I know it's supposed to be legit.
That's another pay site, too, much like Craigslist, you know?
Not really, but
No?
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway, eHarmony, that's where most people look that I've researched on, I guess, to look for a more serious kind of relationship.
Oh, so you're looking for a serious thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of done with the whole bachelor lifestyle, I guess.
And is that something that you say right off the gate, like, I'm looking for something serious?
I tend to wait till I actually meet the person, you know, and we kind of fill each other out, you know, kind of where we stand with that. But I do tend to look for girls who fit that profile.
And did you think that Madison fit that profile?
I did. You know, I mean, I met a few girls online before. You know, they didn't really work out. You know, some people are just in it for the reasons I'm not into, which, you know,
Just cheap sex and fun, you know? Sounds terrible.
Yeah.
So what was it about Madison that made her stand out?
She has a really, really fun personality. Even before meeting her, she just you can kind of see it from a distance. And then as she gets up closer, she's just beautiful.
Were you following her around before you met her? Because that's what it sounds like.
No, like her profile pictures, again, it was, you know, I mean,
Well, just the way you said from a distance, I pictured you, like, looking through a window with binoculars, and you're like, and then once I brushed her arm when I walked past her in the coffee shop, then I noticed that she did have a fun personality.
No, I mean, how it was, you know, everyone pretty much looks good in their profile picture.
Okay, that's what you meant. All right.
So, yeah, then we met up at a bar. She was just beautiful. She didn't cake on makeup. You know how some girls, especially on first dates, I swear, like to go overboard, you know, and you're not sure which is their face or, you know, or how deep it goes.
How deep does that makeup? I usually just reach across the table and try to scratch it off at that point just to see. Do you feel like you guys really clicked together?
Absolutely. Yeah. Conversation was easy the entire time. And we both joked about the whole online thing, you know, and how it's just kind of a crapshoot.
How did everything end with you guys?
The date lasted a few hours. When it was time to go, you know, I just kind of asked her if I could call her to hang out again, you know, or go out. And she gave me a really big smile and said, absolutely. Wow. So based on that, I decided to take it upon myself to lean in, and I kind of just gave her a little kiss. Nothing too aggressive.
Not too aggressive. Grab the back of her head. Get over here.
Yeah. No, it seemed like it was right. You know, it's kind of that lull silence, I guess, you know, after a little bit of laughter, I guess. So it just, again, it seemed like almost like a movie.
She sounds like quite the catch.
Yeah.
I mean, she was. All the way home, I just couldn't stop thinking about the date. I kept replaying everything in my head. And so, you know, as I pulled in my garage, I thought to call her, and I just thanked her again for the date and how amazing it was, and that I'd really like to go out again, and if she would like to as well. She reciprocated that and was really excited that I called, and we set plans for the next Friday.
So that conversation went cool, but yet she's not getting back to you for a second date.
Yeah, man, that's why I'm so confused.
ever since we made that plan, I really haven't heard anything.
Do you think that she's getting like hit up left and right and maybe found a better option online?
That's kind of what I'm afraid of. But to really just not text or anything and just to drop with the night we did have, at least some closure would be nice.
Yeah, and especially if you guys already made plans, so you didn't set your Friday night aside and then she just doesn't get back to you.
Exactly.
Huh.
Interesting. All right, well, we'll play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update, all right?
Right on. Thanks, guys.
All right, man, hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
If you're just tuning in for the second date update, Bruce is on the phone with us. He's currently experiencing one of the most frustrating things in dating. He went out with a girl, they had a great date, seemed to click on every level. Even after the date, they made plans to go out on another date, like scheduled plans, and then she just stopped talking to him. And she wasn't a total dog face, which is nice too. She was attractive, so Bruce is trying to figure out why she's not calling him back. All right, Bruce, we're about to give her a call and find out. You ready?
Yeah, I am.
What's the best case scenario for you in this?
That she was really busy or she lost her phone.
Okay.
I'm praying she lost her phone.
Yeah. And she couldn't hop on the internet to contact you via Facebook or eHarmony where you guys met. There's she dropped off the grid for a little while. Maybe she's homeless and we find that out. And there was no way to get a hold of you. That's the only thing that I can think could be good in this scenario.
All right.
All right. Prepare for the worst, I think is what they're saying.
Here we go, man. I'm going to dial the phone number right now.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Hello.
Hi, can I speak to Madison, please?
This is she.
Hello, Madison. How are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
From where? I'm sorry.
Brooke and Jubal in the Morning, the radio show?
You're looking for Madison?
Yes, I am. I'm calling you today because we recently got an email about you.
Okay.
It was from somebody that you went out on a date with. His name is Bruce.
Okay.
And Bruce told us a little bit about your date, and he's very curious why you just kind of stopped talking to him. So he asked us to see if we could get you on the phone and find out why.
Okay. It's kind of awkward.
It's kind of awkward.
Understandable.
Yeah, this is a very awkward thing, but Bruce really wants to know if he did something wrong on your date. He had nothing but nice things to say about you. But he also said that you made plans with him to go out, like the next Friday after you guys had your date, and then you just bailed.
I mean, that just kind of happened. I do apologize, and I feel bad.
Hey, Madison, have you ever had somebody do that to you where you're really kind of into them and you want to go out with them again, they just stop talking to you?
Yes.
It's pretty frustrating, right?
It is. It is. I do understand. It is very frustrating.
So then...
And I do apologize.
Okay, well, don't you think it'd be cool to, like, let Bruce know why you blew him off?
I guess I can explain to you. I just would feel like I would hurt his feelings.
Okay.
So I don't want him to know.
Well, you can tell us, and then we'll figure out a way to tell him where it doesn't hurt his feelings.
Yeah, and relay the message gently.
Okay.
Okay, so we had a good time. He was very nice, and when the date finished, he called me back, and he just, said thank you, and that was actually really nice. I really appreciated that. So we talked on his way home, and then he got home and proceeded to get off the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if, obviously, I highly doubt he knows he did this, and I am in the wrong for this a little bit too, but he didn't hang up.
Uh-huh.
And
so you stayed on. Anytime anybody does that to me, by the way, I stay on the phone the whole time too, just to listen
do?
for a little bit, just to see what they're doing.
You guys are such voyeurs.
I want to catch somebody being like pervy or something,
It wasn't pervy.
Oh,
I wasn't
damn.
being the perv. I just, I was just kind of curious, I guess.
For sure.
What did you hear?
Well, at first, I just heard rustling, and I was like, oh, okay, he's home. And then I heard a guy's voice, and I was like, ooh, he's going to have a conversation. That's when I was like, I'm definitely listening. He said to the guy, I just went on a date. I'm going to marry that girl.
Oh, that's really cute.
Or really creepy.
Yeah, exactly. It goes one of two ways. Like Brooke is practically ready to slide off her seat right now, and Jose's like, "Whoa, that's creepy."
It freaked me out. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And so that's why I've been avoiding him, because I don't think that you can tell if you're going to marry somebody after one date.
Yeah.
Maybe
so
you
just
can't,
feel
but
feel
other
like it
people
was
could.
you feel like it was too much.
Too soon.
Yeah, way too much. And granted, like I had a great time with him. It was fun. But when, like the first thing that he says when he gets home is, I'm going to marry that girl. It's like, what?
But the thing is, I mean, you couldn't see his face. You don't know. I mean,
Brooke's trying so hard for like the storybook love tale thing right now.
Seriously, I think some people can tell after the first date, and I think you could have found like the coolest guy you'll ever meet.
Or you could have found a stage 5 clinger.
But
it all depends how you interpret it. This is how she's interpreting it. I mean, that's how it made her feel.
Should be mutual, right?
But that's the risk of dating, right? They're always either clingers or romantics.
Yeah, and that's the vibe that she got from this dude, obviously, that he's a clinger right away.
No.
Yeah, that's exactly the vibe that I got. And, like, hey, that's fine for you maybe, but not for me. I want somebody to want to get to know me first.
Before you talk about marriage, all right. Well,
Exactly.
Madison, thank you. I appreciate it. I'll make sure to let Bruce know in the nicest way possible.
Okay, I hope that helps.
All right, and the only nice way I can think of is to let you know that he's on the other line and just heard that.
What? Are you serious?
Yes, I am. Bruce, say hi to Madison.
Hi, Madison. Madison, I can't believe you actually heard that.
Yeah.
I'm at a complete loss for words.
Do you remember saying that to whoever you were talking? Who were you talking to, by the way, Bruce?
Yeah, I was talking to my roommate.
Okay.
I walked in, and my roommate, kind of was sarcastic, being like, "Yo, dude, how'd the date go?" So I thought of the first thing that was on top of my head. It's just like, I think I love her, man. I want to marry her, or something like that.
Crap. That's cool to say to your roommate, but you definitely don't want the person that you just went on a date with, first date, to hear that.
Madison, I really wish you would have let me know that you heard that, and we could have cleared some things up, but...
So, what, like, are you taking it back? do you not mean it anymore? Or what do you mean by that?
So, kind of what I meant was, where I was at with my excitement was, I could definitely see, things going, forward if that's, kind of how things were with us all the time, the more and more we started being together, and, I don't know, it might turn into love.
This is such an awkward thing to try to explain.
Madison, I mean, can't you give this guy a chance? I mean, I know that it's a lot of pressure, but haven't you ever just felt overwhelmed and maybe you exaggerated your feelings a little?
Yeah.
Sure, but I don't know. It's like hearing something that you're not supposed to. It's hard to come back from that because now it's on such a ground of embarrassment.
Why don't we turn it into a joke?
Why don't we just forget it ever happened and turn it into a joke?
I mean, if it has to always be remembered, we did have a good time. We had an amazing time. It's actually one of the best dates that I've been on in years.
Bruce, I think you need to downplay it a little more. Don't call the date amazing. Don't call it awesome. Just be like, it was cool or whatever, Madison. I didn't really care too much. That sounds like what Madison is into.
Yeah.
Oh, Madison, stop being so scared of love. Yeah. Come on, Madison.
Oh, I'm not scared. I just, want to make smart decisions and not,
That's good.
But he could have said, like, horrible things about you. He could talk about, like, your boobs or your butt or how he wanted to bang you.
That happened after Madison hung up. I guarantee it.
Like, Like, you actually found a sweet, caring man that really wants to find love someday. He's not saying it's necessarily with you right now.
No, I think he did say that.
Well, I'm just trying to help him out.
I don't know. It's just, that's like a lot of pressure. I mean, I'm still pretty young, so
All right.
that's, it's always going to be like in the back of my head. Like,
Well, sweet. Then we should send you guys out again. Madison, would you like to go on a second date with Bruce? I'll pay for it.
God.
Come on, Madison, give him one more shot.
Madison, I really wish it didn't happen, but it did. I'm definitely in it for take it date by date. I don't have a problem with that. I just got really excited about you as a person.
Oh.
So, Madison, will you go out one more time with me?
Hey, Madison, if you wouldn't have been such a snoop and listened in on his conversation, would you go out with him if you didn't hear what he said?
That's a good question.
I mean, yeah, I would have.
Okay.
I absolutely would have.
So it's your own fault.
Hey, there you go.
Hey, now.
So you should go out with him again.
Come on.
I mean, I feel so guilty about all of this. I mean, I guess I kind of owe it to you.
There you go.
You're saying yes?
Congratulations, Bruce. You got yourself a pity date.
I'm sorry, Bruce.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Thanks. Yeah.
I'm excited to go out with you, Bruce. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I guess it's whatever.
Yeah. See, that's how you have to play
Oh,
it.
I see.
Yeah. I mean, I might be busy that night, but we'll see.
Thanks, Jubal.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Need LASIK? Trust the experienced team at the LASIK Center at Evergreen Eye Center. No glasses, no contacts, no limits. What will you do? LASIK at evergreen.com.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
In my opinion, it's always a good date when the possibility of handcuffs getting whipped out comes into play.
On a first date. Wow.
But not everybody feels that way. Like Frank, who's on the phone for a second date update right now. What's up, Frank?
Hey, guys, what's up?
Not much. So you almost got the handcuffs put on you, huh? On a first date. That's what I like to hear.
It's like Freaky Frank already, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of fun, Frank, in your email about your date, but I guess it wasn't?
Yeah, it wasn't what I would love to exactly have, but that's how it goes.
You sound awkward just even saying that.
Yeah.
It just wasn't one of my proudest moments, really.
Before we get into that, tell us a little bit about the girl that you want to call today. What's her name?
Her name's Jenna.
Jenna. And how did you meet Jenna?
We met through some mutual friends, just at a party, and we were both hanging out, and there seemed to be a little bit of a clicking. You know what I mean?
Okay. So did you know immediately that you wanted to ask her out?
Oh, definitely. She was hilarious.
Oh, awesome.
I love that she was just had a great sense of humor, and she had an awesome smile, and she had this really cute mole. It was between her left eye and her nose. And
Cute mole, huh?
it's gonna sound a little normally I'm not really into moles at all. They kind of weird me out, but he was rocking it. You know what I mean? There's something about it that was
There's something sexy about a girl who's not scared to rock her mole. I agree with you on that one, Frank.
It was like a sexy mole. So
Obviously worked because you guys went out on a date, right? Yeah. Tell us about the date.
Well, I love indie films, so I asked her to see this indie film that my friend actually worked on.
Uh-huh.
He was a cinematographer on it. He was just super talented, and I just wanted to go support.
So how was the movie?
It was, I thought it was good. At one point, I was kind of nervous, too, because I had French onion soup at lunch, and I was I didn't have a chance to brush my teeth, so I was worried, I don't know, if I had bad breath or something. But
all those onions.
she leaned in at some point, so I felt okay, this is going great,
She leaned in to kiss you during the film?
Just to be closer, I think, just kind of lean up against me, but it was just I think she was just trying to get closer.
Right. Okay. And you didn't try to kiss her at that point?
I didn't kiss her, but I was thinking, all right, this is
we're going to get a kiss at the end of the night, you know?
Yeah, it's good romantic
And-
move there.
Did you get a kiss at the end of things?
No. I mean, here's what happened after that. So the movie got out, and then, you know, we're driving, and I ended up getting pulled over, and I guess my tail light was out or something. Like, that's what the cops said, and I was just, like, talking my way out of it just because, like, I already have 2 tickets, and I just, you know, I don't want to jack up my insurance.
Right.
So, so I thought I was a pretty smooth talker, and it seemed to be okay, and it just felt different after, for some reason, like...
After you got pulled over?
Yeah, like, well, I got back in the car, and I was like, that was weird, and she, you know, she kind of didn't really, like, wasn't laughing like I thought she would have or something.
Wait, they had you out of the car?
Yeah, that's my question, too. That's extreme.
Yeah, I got out of the car to talk to the cop because I just didn't want her to hear, you know, anything was going on, and
I thought it was a lot worse, like the cop said, get out of the car, you know, like that kind of thing.
Gun drawn.
No, it's pretty, it wasn't that, like, dramatic.
Wait a minute, though. Why didn't you want her to hear?
I don't know. You know, when I'm on, like, a first date with someone, I don't want exactly for them to hear that it's like, oh, this isn't my first ticket. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want her to think I'm, like, some irresponsible guy getting tickets all the time, you know?
Okay.
And so what happened when you guys actually got back to her house and you said goodnight?
So I drove her back to her place, and, you know, I'm thinking I'm still going to get, like, a kiss, you know, by the end of the night. And I took her to her door, and she's just like, no, sorry, just not feeling it. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, wait, so you went in for a kiss and she denied you?
Yeah, she's just like, sorry, it was just weird. It just was kind of like cut off.
All right.
And I asked her, I was like, can I call you? And she's like, she was just like really vague, you know, she's like, okay. But it didn't feel like she was super interested.
Not absolutely call me, just, okay, sure, I guess.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, exactly. She's like, all right, yeah, whatever.
I wonder what could have happened from the time you went to talk to the cop to getting back into the car that would have made her seem so cold.
Like, I don't know, I have this, like, weird theory that maybe she dated that cop or something.
What?
You know, I don't know, I just was thinking, like...
You've just been sitting on this, making up stories since you went on your date of things that could have possibly been wrong, right?
I don't know, because I can't figure it out. It was like, why would you suddenly just not want to talk or not even, like, accept my kiss?
That is reading deep, sir.
Well, I don't know. I thought, like, I was thinking that. I was thinking, like, is it my breath? Like, was it the French onion soup? Like,
The breath.
All kinds of things.
Slept with the police officer.
Have you tried to call her since the date? I mean, have you tried to reach out to her?
yeah, and just nothing.
Nothing at all.
Hasn't. Yeah.
All right, well, we'll play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update, all right?
All right, cool.
Okay, hang on, man.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
I'm actually really surprised that the guy on the phone to do a second date update today isn't getting a call back because he's a bad boy.
Oh.
That's right. If you missed the first part of today's second date update, Frank is on the phone and he wants to call a girl named Jenna. And on their first date, he got pulled over, got into a physical altercation with a cop, and then took them on a high-speed chase down the freeway, which eventually ended in the car rolling over 6 times before he was taken into custody.
God, his story has gotten a lot better in the last couple minutes since the last time we talked to him.
Actually, he got pulled over after they went to the movies and then talked his way out of a ticket.
Yeah.
And then after he talked his way out of the ticket, when he got back in the car, she was very awkward and was hardly talking to him. At the end of the night, when he dropped her off, he went in for a kiss. She said no. And then he asked if he could call her again. She said, okay. And then he called her again and hasn't heard a thing. Frank?
Hey, guys.
It would have sounded cooler if you would have done all those things that I said you did, by the way.
Yeah, I guess. But, you know, I did something.
Hey, next
At least
time.
I did something.
Yeah. We live to date again. The next date you go on, high-speed chase.
Yeah,
Gets him every time.
punch the cop.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, Frank.
All right, buddy, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you guys give out such good advice.
Really do.
I mean,
All right, man. I'm going to dial her phone number right now, okay?
Okay.
Here we go.
Hello?
Hi, I was looking for Jenna.
Hi, this is Jenna.
Hey, Jenna. What's going on?
Not much. May I ask who's calling?
Sure.
are you going to answer her?
I don't know. I mean, you can ask.
Oh, you're waiting.
Would you like to know who it is?
Who's calling me? What's going on?
This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning, the radio show.
Are you serious?
Yeah. How are you?
I'm
fine. Why are you calling me?
I'm calling you because one of our listeners actually sent us an email about you. His name is Frank.
What?
Yeah. His name is Frank, and you guys recently went to a movie together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Frank told us that after your date, he's been trying to get a hold of you because he would like to see you again, and you haven't been responding to any of his phone calls or text messages or anything.
Oh, my gosh.
So Frank asked us if we could call you and find out why you don't want to see him again.
There's no way that this is real.
No, this is 100% real. It's a segment we do on our show called the Second Date Update. Frank wants to know why you're not answering the phone.
Oh my gosh.
So are you laughing at the fact that a radio station is calling you, or just the thought of Frank?
Just that he isn't taking me not calling him back and he's having you guys call me? That's very funny.
Well, I think he knows that you've blown him off. Now he just wants to know why, so he figured we could maybe find that out. Do you mind telling us a little bit about your date?
Well, you know, I mean, my date wasn't great, but I don't want to, like, talk behind his back, especially on the radio.
Yeah, but it's really not behind his back if you think about it. He's the one that asked us to make this phone call. It's not like we're doing it out of the blue.
Yeah. Well, maybe don't tell him this exact version, but I just can't go out with a guy that I don't respect.
Whoa, that got more serious than I expected it to. I thought you were going to say he's got a weird haircut or something.
Why don't you respect him?
I mean, I don't know how much he told you about the date.
Okay, he told us that he took you to a movie, and then there was an awkward moment when he got pulled over for, like, having a brake light out or something. And then he talked to the cop, got out of the ticket, and when he got back in the car, he said that you were very cold to him. And then you wouldn't kiss him when he dropped you off, and then he said that you haven't answered his phone calls. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
That's a lot, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
You want me to tell you his theory on why he thinks you're not calling him back?
Sure.
Because I guess he's been, like, racking his brain for reasons, and he was thinking that maybe the cop that pulled you guys over was somebody that you used to date.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so extreme.
So you're laughing at that. I'm guessing that's not the case. You didn't date that cop?
No, I did not.
He just can't figure it out because according to him, everything was great until he got pulled over, and then after that, you were weird.
Well, he thinks I didn't see what he did, but I saw it.
What did he do?
So we get pulled over. He immediately gets out of the car. I'm like, what are you doing? Stay in the car. The cop's freaking out. He's telling him to get back in the car.
Really?
Yeah. And then he starts, like, crying to the cop to get out of it.
Like tears?
Yes, he's like blubbering. He's like, please, officer, I'm on a date and I have all these other tickets and I just really need a break today. It was insane.
I'm picturing a huge scene, like the cop with his gun drawn and him sobbing.
No, I mean, it wasn't that dramatic, but they just, like, went to the back of the car and, you know, apparently thought I couldn't hear anything, but I heard everything.
So was he, I mean, maybe he was legitimately crying. Some people get really scared and nervous when they get pulled over.
No, because then he gets back in the car and he's all bragging to me like, well, I really, you know, smoothed my way through that, really talked my way out of that one. How impressive is this?
So
you know?
He was telling you that when he didn't think that you heard he was crying?
Yeah.
Was he still in tears when he got in the car?
No, I mean, he, like, you know, wiped away his eyes, but he was totally, you know, all, like, smooth soccer, like, look what I just did.
Why didn't you just call him out on it?
I don't know why I didn't in the moment, but in my mind the whole time I'm thinking, did you just really cry to get out of the ticket?
The cop was even like, this is awkward.
Yeah.
I got to get out of here.
It worked. He didn't get a ticket. I think it's a great move.
Well, yeah, he didn't get a ticket, but he also didn't get a chance to go out with me again.
Well, thank you for telling us your story, Jenna. I do also want to tell you, I hope that he's not crying right now, but Frank is actually on the other line listening to this conversation and wants to talk to you.
What?
Yeah. Frank?
Yeah.
Wow, Frank.
Oh, my God.
Is what Jenna says true?
You thought I was crying. I mean, are you a moron? Like, it was fake. I just tried to get out of the ticket. It's called acting. You know what I mean?
Did you just call me a moron? I just told them what happened.
Yeah, I did.
Are you... Okay, well, now not only are you sad and pathetic, but you're also rude.
Well, what was I supposed to do? You were like, we get pulled over for like nothing. You're doing nothing to help. You're like freaking out like it's like an earthquake or something.
Whoa.
And, I was.
What kind of man are you? You can't even handle getting a ticket. You just speak to the officer, you explain the situation. It's not that hard to do.
Yeah, well, you could have like gotten out or done something like, hey, show them some cleavage, and
What? Are you kidding me? Frank!
Yeah, that is the least you could have done, like just show them boobs. Then I wouldn't have had to get out of it.
So you're blaming her for you getting out of the car and crying to the cop to try to get out of a ticket.
And you're suggesting that I flashed this cop? Are you kidding me?
All she was doing was just panicking the whole time. She was just freaking out the whole time, and she was like, my God.
I wasn't freaking out. I was just sitting there like anyone would do when they get a ticket. You were the one who was totally freaking out.
Yeah, no, I was the one who handled it.
Handled it like a 16-year-old girl.
You know what? I was proud of myself, and you should be proud that someone handled the situation.
I didn't know what to do. You're sitting there wailing to this poor cop about how you've got all these other tickets and you're on a date, and how can I possibly respect you when you get back in the car?
Jenna, you're obviously not used to going out with the real man.
Frank, are you just really embarrassed? Is that why you're being so aggressive?
No. Jenna said I was crying. I was not crying. I was fake crying. Okay? There's like a major difference.
Oh.
Hey, Jenna, I would love to ask if you guys would like to go on a second date. Jenna, would you like to go out with Frank again? We'll pay for it.
No.
Oh, what are you talking about, Jenna? What good are you if you can't use your boobs properly?
You know what? I thought you were cool. Like we laughed about the Ghostbusters and like laughed our tails off, and you're just like, have no respect for someone taking care of a situation and handling it like a real man does fake cry.
Yeah. I've been saying that for years.
Right.
A real man will fake cry to get his way out of things. Like anytime anybody's been aggressive with me, wanted to fight in a bar or something like that, I cry and I run out, and that's what real men do.
You want to handle this like real men?
That's it.
So that's a no, Jenna. No second date with Frank.
No, and good luck to him finding someone who will.
Oh.
Sorry, Frank.
Jenna, that's fine. I don't care, because if I had to do it again, I would fake cry to another cop, whatever I have to do.
All right, well, it wasn't a successful second date for you, Frank, but you did help us learn a lesson today. That fake crying is the manly way to get out of things. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Text in at 78592 says, why can't I find a guy like that? I love a fake crier. It's Brooke and Jubal in the morning. Talking about today's second date update. If you missed it, Frank took Jenna to the movies, and Frank admitted that afterwards he was pulled over by the police, but managed to talk his way out of the ticket. But he was confused why Jenna wasn't returning any of his calls. We called Jenna, and she told us Frank got out of the ticket by crying to the police officer. Not by anything else, just crying. Frank defended himself, saying that he faked it and thought she should be proud of him for handling the situation. And actually, real men fake cry. That's what he said. He's a real man, and he fake cries.
I think he really cried, and he's too embarrassed to admit it, which he shouldn't be. That's a stressful situation.
Jenna decided not to go out with him again. Remember, if you want to do a second date update, email the show, and we will call the person that didn't call you back. It's Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
Not a lot of things are more awkward on a first date than when you're ending the night and you're like, hey, you want to come up to my place? And they're like, hey, I think I'll just go home. It's always kind of a letdown. And apparently that's what happened to today's second dater, Andrea, who is on the phone. And Andrea, I read your email. You met a guy named Tommy at a party, and dinner went well according to you, but you also said that is how your evening ended, by you inviting him up to your place and him turning you down.
Oh, no.
Yeah, awkward.
What? When he said that to you, was it obvious that he didn't like you?
He said, "No, I don't think it's a good idea."
Was it
I
like?
don't think it's a good
And you're
idea.
a living, breathing woman with a pulse, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys. There's some guys who think that that's moving too fast. I mean, maybe it was too much for him.
No, I didn't even get a kiss, goodbye, or anything.
Even a handshake? Did he at least give you a handshake?
High five.
Nothing.
No hug or anything.
Oh.
So I texted him later and I asked, "Is everything okay?" And he responded, "Yes, period."
That was
That's it? Just a one word?
Not good.
Yes.
Yeah. Anytime anybody texts me with a one word something, even if it's like my parents and we're just talking about something and I know that they don't really know how to text correct, I'm just like, oh my God, what's wrong?
I know.
So he just gave you the one word yes with a period.
Yeah. And then I said, "Did I do something wrong?" And I never got any response.
Oh, no.
Did it seem like he was enjoying the date that you were on when you guys went out to dinner?
I thought so. I mean, I asked him up to my apartment. So.
Right.
Yeah, so you
Well, I
thought
mean,
everything was going
You
good.
thought it was going perfect. Was there any moment in the date that you think something weird could have happened, something awkward other than him turning down your advances to
No, I mean, the only thing I can think of is I took my time when he came to my house. He texted me and told me that he was there, and I took my time coming out of the apartment. You know, like I was trying to look cute and just running late.
Are we talking like 5-10 minutes or 2 hours?
No, it was like 15 minutes maybe.
Okay, so
Yeah,
not
but that's
terrible.
annoying, though. No,
it is.
that's
It is
bad.
annoying when you pull up and you're like, "Oh my God, come on, hurry up."
Being late to the date.
But at this point, guys build that into their schedule, I feel like. They're just used to it.
This was the beginning of the date, though, and everything else seemed to go fine. Like, I can't imagine, like, finally at the end he gets upset about it.
That's a good point.
And I looked good. You know, I was taking my time to look good for him, and I apologized.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna take that long, you better look good. Yeah. That's the rule that I have. If you show up 15 minutes late and you're kind of looking pretty basic, then we're not going out again. But if you look like Beyonce, then yes, you did a good job. And there's that 15-minute grace period where you're okay. At this point, are you hoping to get a second date? Do you feel like he's going to want to go out with you again, or are you just hoping to find out why?
I would like a second date, but at this point, I'm not getting my hopes up about it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I just want to know what is going on.
I mean, if he responded, your last conversation was like that, where he gave you a one-word answer and then just never responded if you asked if you did something wrong. He's obviously not into you for some reason.
Doesn't look good.
But maybe we can turn whatever it is into a positive and get you a second date out of the deal.
I hope so.
Or at least you understand what you're doing wrong.
Yes.
All right. Well, play a song, come back, get him on the phone and get your second date update, all right?
Okay, thanks.
All right, hang on.
My face above the water. Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Amanda is on the phone with us, and she wants us to call a guy named Tommy. Something very awkward happened at the end of her date with Tommy when she invited him up to her place. He said, "I don't think that's a good idea." And then she hasn't really heard anything from him. So it's obvious that something happened on the date that went wrong, and Tommy didn't like Andrea very much. We don't know why. That's why we're about to get him on the phone, see if we can find out what Andrea did on the date. And Andrea, I've got a special treat for you.
Okay.
Okay, this is something never done before in a second date update. I'm going to try something groundbreaking here when we call him, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to pretend to be you.
I don't think that's
It's
going to
the first second date update where I've ever
Okay.
pretended to be the other person, and I think it can work out very well if I get him on the phone and just like, "Hey, what's up, Tommy?
Yeah,
It's
foolproof
me,
plan.
Andrea. Don't you remember you wanted to come to my place?" And I was like, "Hey, come up and kiss me sometimes."
I'm confused talking to you
Right?
right now.
I know.
Talking.
Where'd Jubal go?
Andrea, what do you
I
think?
think I'll go for it.
Go for it? You think
Yeah.
that'll work out well? All right,
Oh, I'm
Andrea.
sorry, Andrea.
You about ready to give him a call, see if we can get him on the phone?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. I'm so nervous. I feel like he wouldn't be able to tell the difference at all. And it probably would score you a date, Andrea. I'm a pretty sweet talker.
Hello?
Hey, is Tommy there?
Oh, my gosh.
Hello?
Hey, is Tommy there?
Yeah, this is he. Who is this?
This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. How are you?
Good. Can I help you?
I'm calling you today because you recently went out on a date with one of our listeners, and they wanted to see if I could get you on the phone and talk to you for a minute.
You serious?
Yep. Her name is Andrea.
Huh.
All right, so you remember going out with Andrea?
Yes, I do.
She told us that you guys went out for dinner and had a lot of fun.
Wow.
And she said, though, at the end of the night after your date, that she invited you to her place and you turned her down, and then you haven't really talked to her at all after. So she's wondering why you turned her down.
Wow. So she called you to ask me that?
Yes, because apparently she couldn't get you on the phone. So her last resort was to ask us to call you and find out what the reason is.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I think that's pretty pathetic, but I was pretty pissed off, and I didn't want to really talk to her anymore.
You were pissed off and you didn't want to talk to her anymore.
That's right.
Do you mind telling us why?
Well, she's obviously told you everything, right?
I'll tell you what she told us. She said that you guys went out to dinner. She thought you were having a fun time. At the end of the night, she asked if you wanted to go up to her place. You said no. She had a real quick text exchange with you, and that's the last she's heard from you.
And the only thing she mentioned was that she might have made you wait 15 minutes while she was getting ready for the date.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That's the least of her problems, man.
What did she do?
That's intense.
Why are you so mad at her?
Basically, I got into a conversation with her over dinner about travel. And, I just recently came from Nepal, and we had a really good conversation. And she told me about this trip that she went to in Canada.
Okay.
And she was complaining about Canadian drivers and how she wished that she could just go party in Canada without there being some dumbasses in there.
So it sounds like you're personally insulted that she was making fun of Canadians.
Well, yeah, I am. I'm from Ontario. I'm from Waterloo, Canada.
Oh. So she was railing on Canadians. Did you tell her that you're from Canada?
No, I didn't tell her from Canada.
Okay,
I let her go on and on and on. She went on for an hour talking about how she thinks that Obama should infiltrate Canada.
No.
So frankly, I'm kind of glad that you called me because now you guys can see how much of an idiot she is.
Do you think that she...
I'm not taking it
on any more dates with her.
I'm not as offended as you are that she was making fun of Canada.
Yeah.
Was it that bad?
I mean, it's not that it was bad. It's just I don't really want to hang out with an idiot.
Do you think that maybe she could have been joking, like she was nervous and you took it the wrong way?
Can you switch sides and come into my place and have somebody make fun of where you're from for about an hour?
Well, I get it, but why wouldn't you, defend Canada in that moment?
Because it's difficult to defend Canada?
Okay, see, that's the shit I don't like dealing with.
I'm sorry,
Just
I
a-
love maple syrup,
Lydia.
I'm sorry.
Lydia.
I had no idea that you guys got so angry, Tommy, just in general.
I mean, I could take it for like a minute or two, that's fine, but she just went completely off for like a long time. I mean, after a little bit, I'm fine. She just kept making fun of the beer. The beer tastes like piss. It does not taste like piss.
You've had...
And then she talked about how she hates their accents and how they keep saying A this and A that. You know what? After a while, I'm sorry, but she just wasn't very attractive to me anymore.
All right. Tommy, I haven't heard you say a or a boot or anything once. None of that.
Yeah, well, that's because it's a stupid stereotype. I'm a proud Canadian. I love my country.
Okay.
That's cool. That's it. Bottom
And,
line.
As you should.
Tommy, at any point, did you look at her and go, hey, shut the up about Canada? Did you never do
You know
that?
what? Next time I run into her, I'll be sure to say that.
Well, then perfect, Tommy. I'm going to give you the opportunity to say it right now because she's actually on the phone listening.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I had no idea that you were from Canada.
You spent an hour at dinner making fun of my
Chill
country.
out, man. I was just joking. That's what we do in Seattle. We joke about Canada.
It's true.
Lighten up.
Hey, you want to hear a joke? Let's go out on another date.
I'll give you props for that one, Tommy.
Are you actually offended about all this? I was joking, and you could have stopped me at any time and told me,
Yeah, but
hey, I'm actually from Canada. I'm offended.
If I stopped you, then I wouldn't be able to hear all the wonderful things you have to say about my country.
I was joking. It was a joke. You don't have to be an ass about it.
You called a radio station to figure out why I wasn't calling you back, okay?
Because you didn't have the balls to tell me yourself.
Well, he's Canadian, Andrea.
Oh, guys.
Hey, off there. Seriously, off.
Shouldn't that have been followed with an A or something, Tommy?
Come on, dude.
You know
That's
what? You know what?
You should come up to Canada, all right? Come up to Canada. I'll show you what some real beer tastes like, because your American beer tastes like crap.
I love going to Canada, dude. I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun for me, except for that weird money that you have. I like it.
Yeah.
Off, man.
Oh, jeez. Honestly think that he deserves an apology from you, Andrea.
Why?
Because, like,
the dude is uptight.
No, listen, I am from North Idaho, and people make fun of me all the time for it.
Yeah.
And it's where I was born and raised, and there's something to be said where it feels like they're attacking you personally because where you're from is such a part of who you are.
Yeah, but you're from Northern Idaho. I think it's okay to make fun of that, too. Canadians and Idahoans, perfectly fair game.
What if they're making fun of Seattle?
I make fun of myself all the time.
But
You
it's
guys
different when
are a
people are
little
attacking
uptight.
you for an hour.
I don't
Just
think, Andrea, were you
apologize.
going off on him for an hour?
No, it wasn't for an hour, and I would have stopped if he had said something. He is completely exaggerating.
But you haven't apologized once on this phone call.
Because I'm not sorry for what I was saying.
She's only sorry about his sense of humor.
Yeah, which is weird because normally Canadians have a good sense of humor. Like that's the one thing that they have going for them up there. Is there's a lot of funny people that have come from there. Andrea, I'm sorry we couldn't get you a second date.
Yeah.
No, I'm really glad that this happened because I don't want a second date. What was that ass?
Maybe choose a different location to make fun of next time. I mean, Oregon has plenty of material.
Or Andrea, date Americans. All right.
Oh yeah.
Stop going out with these weird Canucks. They're strange.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.